The Padres are back in the desert as they get ready for their first road trip games against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Game one of a three-game series between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Well, tonight, Paul Goldschmidt back in the lineup for the Diamondbacks. They have been outstanding, and in his career against the Padres, so is Goldschmidt. 296 with 18 home runs and 69 RBIs against San Diego. And Eric Hosmer so far 8 multi-hit games. That ties him for third in the National League. It's game one of a three-game series between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Don Orsillo and Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, the Padres beginning this road trip, and tonight they'll hand the baseball to Tyson Ross, who's coming off a very good outing against the San Francisco Giants.
Good numbers here, respectively. The 3.27 ERA here at Chase Field for Tyson Ross. And why has he been so effective? His last start with the slider against the Giants. 6 innings, surrendered 7 hits, no extra base hits. A couple of walks there, no earned runs, 1 walk to be exact, but 10 swinging strikes done. The Major League average is 9.5. He threw 100 pitches. His percentage swing and miss was 10%. So more than the Major League average. Why? He could seek the fastball by him, and then at any time in the count, throw that slider, and we know the slider, a lot of swings and misses out of the hand of Tyson Ross.
Diamondbacks have a lot of injuries this year, but you wouldn't know it. They're atop the National League West. How are they doing it, Mark Grant?
Pitching and defense. Torey Lovullo said it before the game, the last 4 or 5 games, we have not been hitting the ball well. They've got a few guys out. Souza is out. Lamb is out. Pollock is hurt, but they got Goldie up there. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Peralta. Lovullo really likes him. And then the pitching side, Boxberger, the erstwhile Padre, he's been closing out games, and they got a really good 7th, 8th inning setup, guys, for Brad Boxberger. So things are going well here in Copper Square. Not all offensive. They're only hitting .233 as a team. They're doing it with the pitching and the great defense for the Diamondbacks.
Will Myers is back tonight. That's good news. The Padres making some roster moves. We'll check in with Bob Scandal to get us caught up on all the roster moves, the comings and goings of the Padres. We'll step aside, come back with more after this. Take on the unexpected with Nissan's available intelligent safety shield technologies. Innovation that excites. By Sycuan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sycuan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. By Tough Turtle Turf, a full landscape design company. And by Petco, the pet company. Padres and Diamondbacks game 1. Before we get it started, let's send it down to the field and Bob Scanlon.
Well, thank you, Don. Some roster moves for the Padres today, and all of them very relevant. They'll have effects on the lineup, the starting rotation, and the bullpen. Let's take a look at what went down. First of all, Will Myers is back. After missing 14 games, he has been reactivated. It says the elbow feels good, the back feels good. Not only does that help the lineup, but it also adds some depth to the bench. Also back, Kirby Yates. Very much missed, especially the way this bullpen has been used. They lead all of Major League Baseball right now with 86 innings pitched. Now, on the opposite side, obviously, somebody had to leave. Tyler Webb was optioned back to El Paso. That was to make room for Will Myers. And Luis Perdomo got sent down as well. And that was obviously a big move, and they're going to have to make a decision on who takes his spot. But here's what Andy Green had to say about that move of Luis.
It was just time. Don't mean that in a bad sense. Luis has done everything we've asked as far as giving effort and attention to detail. He's pushed himself incredibly hard. He's skipped a lot of steps in the development cycle, and we hoped we would not have to go back and revisit those steps, and it just became apparent to us over early season that him having those steps now is going to be productive for him. So how long he's down there wasn't this, hey, we'll see you in 2 weeks. There wasn't, hey, we'll see you in 2 years either. It's go down, execute, pitch well, and when the time comes, we'll bring you back.
Well, coming up next, it's going to be a National League West showdown between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Tyson Ross looking for his 3rd win of the season. He'll be coming up against Matt Cook. Padres, Diamondbacks coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Strikes out, and the Padres win. For the 2nd straight night, the Diamondbacks have led off with a home run. High drive to deep left field. Unbelievable. Welcome to Arizona, where we are ready to play baseball. Jose Perella standing in on the right side. Ready to work is Matt Cook. And his first pitch in the big leagues this year, and a swing and a miss for Perella. Gets us started. Fastball at 92 miles an hour. And quickly by him, Perella checks in tonight, hitting at 273 on the year. No homers and 10 runs batted in for the Padres left fielder. On the ground, slowly by the mound to Marte at second base. It's out number 1 of the night. Perella retired 4-3. Let's check out the Padres lineup for Andy Green, brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Jose Perella just led it off. He's in left field. Will Myers back in the lineup. In right field, Eric Hosmer at first. Christian Villanueva at third base with Franchi Cordero in center. Freddie Galvis is at short. Carlos Asuaje at second. Austin Hedges does the catching, and Tyson Ross on the mound batting out of the 9th spot for San Diego. There's Will Myers. Great to see him back in the lineup and swinging at that first pitch, fouling it down the right field line.
Fryer's coming out swinging the shillelaghs tonight off of Cook.
Very aggressive out of the gate. Well, it's good to have Myers back. 3 rehab games.
Well, I think tonight, Don, out of the hand of Cook, you're going to see a lot of fastballs. They throw the 4-seam fastball, they throw that cutter. So maybe the Padres, if they get that big pitch right down the middle, they're going to go to hacking for it. Want to lay off that high fastball for the swing and miss.
Will had some right arm nerve irritation. They put him on the DL. Liner into center field for Myers. That's in for a base hit. And Dyson goes over to cut it off. Good start for Myers in his return. A base hit here with 1 down. Get down on the count. Comes up with that base hit.
There's that good fastball I was just talking about. If it's in that hitting area, it's if it in your happy zone, go to hacking. That ball was crushed. Good to have you back, Will Myers, and there goes the no-hitter.
So runner at first, 1 down, and it brings up Eric Hosmer. Eric batting in the 3 spot. It's a normal lineup with Myers back in there. Now they just need to get Manuel Margot back, and it'll even be more normal. But you get Myers batting second, Hosmer at third. That's the way they started the season. And Hosmer with a big swing.
Another first pitch swinging. Cook counters with that changeup at 86.
How about this for Eric Hosmer? Tonight marks his first career game that he's ever played here at Chase Field.
Wow, I would have gotten that one wrong. I would have bet that he would have stepped foot inside Copper Square and swung the bat.
Never has. First game for Haas. On the ground to first base. Goldschmidt with a bobble. Still can get one, and they do. So no error on the play as they're able to get Hosmer at first. Could have been a double play, but Myers takes second base.
Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defense behind Cook, and their defense is brought to you by San Diego Cadillac dealers. Behind the plate, Alex Avila, the catcher's ERA 2.39. Pitchers like throwing to certain catchers. In left field, Daniel Descalso, Jared Dyson in center, David Peralta in right. Infield, Marrero, Ahmed, Marte, Goldschmidt. Avila behind the plate.
So 2 down, runner at second. And Christian Villanueva standing in. Villanueva at 340, 6 homers, 13 runs batted in on the young season. 6-game hitting streak coming into tonight's action. 2 doubles, 3 home runs during that time. This one to the backstop, and to third base goes Myers. Wow, that just got away. Vila goes back to get it.
Well, that's where the glove of Avila is. Down and away. Look out.
Wow. Took off. Vila, of course, a newcomer here. Gerard Dyson, among others, joining this team. The absence of J.D. Martinez. A little different look to the Diamondbacks, but they're successful nonetheless. They've been playing good baseball. They come in atop the NL West with 13-5 mark. And at home, where they always play good baseball, they're 7-2 so far in the year.
10th in average at 230. Torey Lovullo said before the game, we're just in a little bit of a slump right now. The last 4 or 5 games, we've been getting it done with our pitching and our defense. Their defense only 4 errors.
Villanueva chases after that. It evens at 2-2.
We just saw the curveball from Cook. He's got the four-seam cutter, slider, change-up. Maybe he wrapped that slider a little bit more. Few strikeouts, a lot of balls in play. His MO is to miss the barrel of the bat.
Just away. That's the hardest we've seen him throw yet. 94.
94. You know, reports we were getting about Cook was like 91, 92. A little extra there at 94. Entering the 2007 season, Baseball America has him as the best control pitcher in the D-back system.
Swing and a miss. Villanueva strikes out. Padres lead Myers at third. Diamondbacks are coming up when we come back to Arizona. Of San Diego County bring you the weather report. 76 degrees, southwest breeze at 14 miles per hour. Forecast is fair, and they're expected to have the roof open tonight and tomorrow. Sunday, not the case. Apparently, they're going to have it closed on Sunday.
Absolutely gorgeous night in the desert tonight, downtown Phoenix.
Let's check out Torey Lovullo's lineup. David Peralta's in right, Jared Dyson in center. It is Paul Goldschmidt at first with Daniel Descalso in left. Tel Marte at second with Nick Ahmed at short. Alex Avila doing the catching, and Devin Marrero at third base. David Peralta, right fielder, leading it off, hitting at .349, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in, and Torey Lovullo loves having him lead off, and really the starting of the line here in their order starts with David Peralta.
I always thought that he's giving you a good at bat. Doesn't give away at bats. Got good control of the strike zone. It's going to be tough to lay off that slider tonight if he's spinning up there like he did last time out of the hand of Tyson Ross.
Rod Dyson waiting on deck as the Diamondbacks bat here in the first, and there's Tyson Ross fresh off a great outing against the Giants. It's a grounder softly hit towards the Suaje. Throws out Peralta for the first down.
Let's look a little deeper into Tyson Ross tonight, shall we? After that great outing against the Giants. Fastball both sides of the plate, and then wipeout slider anytime. He'll throw it 2-0. He wants a new onion, so he's asking for a new ball right there. Well, he'll throw it first pitch, runner in scoring position. He'll keep hitters guessing.
Gerard Dyson standing in, one of the newcomers to the Diamondbacks. Kind of a slow start for Dyson, the center fielder. For his defense especially, but a guy that usually swings a pretty good bat. Comes in hitting at 186 though, no homers and 3 runs batted in.
Yeah, when you don't have Lamb, who's on the DL, Souza, who hasn't played, he got hurt in spring training, and then Pollock, who's day to day after a collision out in the outfield. You know, you got to pick up the slack, right? And if you're not hitting, then the arms, the starters and the bullpen has to pick up some serious slack to have not the opposition score. They've been doing just that.
Shows bunt, pulls it back and takes pitch down low for ball 4. 4-pitch walk allowed here by Tyson Ross.
Check out the defense behind Tyson Ross tonight in Phoenix, Arizona. It's brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. In left to right, Jose Perella, Franchi Cordero. Will Myers, welcome back. He is patrolling right field. Christian Villanueva at third, Freddie Galvis at short, second base, Carlos Asuaje at first base, Eric Hosmer, and behind the plate putting down the signs is Austin Hedges.
1 out, 1 on, and Paul Goldschmidt standing in. Goldschmidt hitting at .254 coming in. 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. Last 8 games, though, he's been on fire, hitting at .414. In the dirt and nicely blocked by Hedges. No advance at first base.
That's a heck of a block for Austin. 1 out. Always try to keep that double play in order. And that breaking ball, it's going to check back up on you if it's away. Keeping that runner at first base.
Goldschmidt with 36 home runs a year ago, 120 RBIs. Finished 3rd in the 2017 National League MVP voting. Throw to first and back to the bag is Dyson. Held on by Hosmer. For Paul Goldschmidt, 7 opening day starts. Club record for a first baseman and second most in club history. Only behind Luis Gonzalez, who made 8 opening day starts. Runner goes and Goldschmidt takes a pitch for a strike. Throw down. It's in time. Caught stealing. Gerard Dyson, nicely done by Hedges. We'll see here if the Diamondbacks are going to challenge.
That's a really good jump by Dyson. A really good release. Well, does Carlos Asuaje, does he get his knee in there to kind of block the plate or block the base a little bit? Let's check it out. His foot in front of the bag. Does he ever get? He gets to the bag. Okay. Does he come off the bag?
Diamondbacks are going to challenge. I got to tell you what, bud. I think he's safe.
Yeah. After looking at it from that angle, you bet.
Terry Lavello getting word to challenge from his video department, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Chad Whitson, the second base umpire. Call the field is out. See if it's overturned here tonight. Crowd singing on the big board, and that was quick. He is safe at second base. Stolen base for Gerard Dyson. So in the scoring position, call overturned. Jerry Narron, former Major League manager in his own right, the bench coach for Torey Lavello. A better look.
The hand is on the bag way before the tag. Now the question that I had was does his hand come off the bag? But clearly he is safe.
So it's second with 1 down. Pitch was a strike, so it's 1-2 to Paul Goldschmidt. In the dirt again. Paul Goldschmidt taking on Tyson Ross. Today brought to you by AARP. And good numbers for Goldschmidt against Ross. 333, couple of home runs. 44 on base percentage, a .667 slugging percentage against Tyson. Runner at second, 1 down. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Goldschmidt. Nicely done. That's a big out, 2 down.
Goldschmidt's one of those hitters where you can pretty much fill in the numbers, the average, the RBIs, the home runs, but you can definitely pitch to him. He is susceptible to going after that slider down off the plate. You can expand the strike zone. And you know what? After that look, that's a legit strike, even if taken. It just goes to show you the tilt off that slider of Tyson Ross.
2 down, Dyson at second base and brings up Daniel Descalso in the cleanup spot. Second career start in the 4th spot in the order. First was at LA earlier this year, and he hit a home run in the cleanup spot. 182 average overall for Descalso, the former St. Louis Cardinal. 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. Strike 1.
The one thing I was impressed about Tyson Ross last time out, Don, was that no extra base hits. He gave up some singles, hit a batter, 1 walk, never really allowed himself to get into trouble. And if he does get into trouble, he goes to that slider, which can bail him out big time.
Tapped foul, and it's 1-2 now to Descalso. Well, the Diamondbacks 13-5 coming into tonight's game. 7 of the last 10 games. And 11-4 against the National League West so far. I mean, they're playing in the division and playing well. 13 wins, 11 of them have come from the division. So first time the Padres have seen the Diamondbacks this year. Rolled over, foul at the dish, still 1-2. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Short order Cook. See where I'm going with that one?
Yeah.
Make it a short order for Cook. I mean, get him in, get him out. Hopefully the Padres get the lead. And Ross rattles the Snakes. Not a lot of offense recently, so hopefully he can go 6+, maybe even 7 innings. And rattle those Snakes. Keep them quiet. Well, that'd be rattling. Well, see, if he rattles them, that means it makes them loud.
Swing and a miss, and
You know what I
Ross
mean.
strikes out Descalso. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ross. Scoreless after 1.
Night for baseball here in Phoenix. So what does that mean? Well, that means that the roof is open. We don't get to see that very often. Now, does the ball travel better here? That was a controversial question back when Curt Schilling pitched here. He thought that they did. He had a lot of fights with the organization. He wanted the roof closed all the time. Well, it's turned out that actually the ball does carry better here, guys. About 10% or 10-point difference on the batting average, almost 20 or 30% depending on the year in the on-base percentage, and they score anywhere from half a run to a run more per game when the roof is open. But one thing to keep in mind, there's a new feature here at Chase Field this season. It's a humidor, just like the one they have in Colorado. Now, the jury's still out on whether it'll have an effect or not, but it'll be interesting to see if it does over the course of the season, guys.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. I was kind of surprised they did that just because of all the success that they had here last year at home. I mean, their numbers at home last year, off the charts,
ridiculous
offensively.
Yeah.
So then you think to yourself, well, when are they going to do that? Why would they change that? But they did. They were talking about it, and they did it.
I kind of agree. Hey,
yeah.
Remember Bob Brumley came over to talk to us before the game, and he said that the humidor is for real, and I'll tell you why after this play. It involves the first baseman for the Diamondbacks, Paul Goldschmidt. Bob has said that Goldie has connected on some balls to the opposite field, and they've just kind of died out there.
Yeah.
The traditional ball off the bat going the opposite way where Goldschmidt can go like maybe into the pool or maybe right field. They haven't traveled. We'll have to keep an eye on that in this series.
Well, they're winning, and they're winning at home. Can't argue with that. 13-5 on the year, and again at home, 7-2 so far. One out here in the second inning, and Freddie Galvis standing in. Galvis has been all over the Padres order. Top to bottom, batted second. The absence of Will Myers a couple times, then got dropped down. Tonight he bats sixth. Fouls it to the screen, and the count evens at 1-1.
Do you think that's kind of like a good thing for Freddie because he's been getting on base, his on base percentage is up, and Andy Green wants to put him in certain slots to where it maybe helps the other hitters? That's the way I look at it.
Especially when he was getting on base a lot there for a while. And it seemed at that point that's when he went up to the 2 spot. Also coincided with Myers going on the DL. But tonight Will Myers back and batting second with Cosmer in the 3 spot. Again, Galvis bats sixth. Down to the count, 1-2. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Second strikeout for Cook. 2 down here in the second inning.
There's that high fastball we've been talking about. Padre hitters, will they be able to lay off? Freddie Galvis does not lay off. And when you don't throw hard, you don't have to throw 96, 98 for that to be effective. With that pitch right there, 91, 92. Fastball for the strikeout. Done and done.
2 down for Carlos Suaje. Thinking about bunting his way on, pulls it back and takes ball 1. Elevated a Suaje not chasing. Sits safely in 4 of his last 5 games. And has started 20 of the first 21 games of the year for the Padres. And the everyday second baseman. They shift on him in the infield on the right side. And a foul to the screen, 2-1. Looking back, series 1 to start the year, 6 consecutive series. Game 1 of this series. First time the Padres have been here to Chase Field in 2018, and first of 3 trips here, first of 3 games tonight for Andy Green's team.
It's all about winning series, right?
Absolutely.
Remember the great Casey Stengel?
Yep.
Remember his famous line? Hey, they don't pay me to win every game. They just pay me to win 2 out of 3. Right?
This one hits a Suaje, or did it? I think he just got away. Ball 4. They led down to first base with the walk. That's the first walk given up by Cook.
You win 2 out of 3 over the course of the season. You're going to win over 100 games.
Comes Hedges hitting out of the 8 spot. Austin doing the catching tonight, hitting at 148. 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. He's better on the road this year than he has at home for whatever reason. Hitting at 294 on the road. A couple of doubles and a home run, hitting just 081 at home. 3 for 37 at Petco Park this year for Hedges.
You know what? That's one that's a conundrum to me. I'm flummoxed.
It doesn't happen often. Someone's able to flummox you.
I talk to coaches, I talk to managers, I talk to players, and even they don't have an explanation. It's just one of those things.
It's in there for a strike. 1-1 to Hedges. Tyson Ross waiting on deck with 2 down here in the visiting half of the second inning. Here's Ross. Games that the Padres have won, Hedges has hit at .316. So he's been kind of in the middle of a lot of those wins.
That's an interesting little nugget.
Fouls it off to the right, out of play. Down 1-2.
I remember taking a tour of that humidor you mentioned earlier in Colorado when it first happened.
I did too.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
There, yeah.
Just the right amount of moisture to not dry out the baseballs, I guess.
Toward first, and diving back safely is Aswahe. On by Paul Goldschmidt. Arrow grounded out. Galvis struck out before Aswahe walked. Hedges grounds it to third base. Marrero goes to second for the fourth shot there of the lead runner that ends the top of the second. Scoreless from Chase Field.
Slow-mo. Look at him get on the ball and then rip it, throw it, twist it. Great rotation. You see that little dot and then gives you the tilt. Here's the deal, folks. He can throw that pitch towards the heart of the plate, down the middle, and it's still tough to hit.
Highest percentage of pitches that are sliders. Chris Archer throws more of the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch ball here to Ketel Marte. Nick Ahmed and Alex Avila scheduled to bat here in the home half of the second for the Diamondbacks.
Last start again for Tyson Ross, 45% sliders, 38% fastballs. He had not thrown that many since June of 2017.
Comes in with an individual record of 2-1. Wins against Colorado. And the win you just saw against San Francisco. Did take a loss in Houston in his third career start against the Astros. First at Minute Maid Park. 6 innings, 4 runs allowed in that outing. To left, and Perella is going to lay it out and make the catch in left field. Nicely done by Jose Perella. Fully laid out towards the line, and he comes up with it in left field. Nice grab. Could have done a face plant there too.
Yeah, and you know what? I always kind of cringe and hold my breath when players dive like that, because you're thinking elbows, dislocated shoulders. But watch him. He's got a bead on it. He commits. The tuck, the roll. He's okay. Nice play by Jose Perella, taking away extra bases.
Tyson Ross liked it. Very appreciative of the defensive effort behind him.
Yeah, I love the tip of the cap from the big right-hander.
Nick Ahmed will take strike 1. 212, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in for the Diamondbacks shortstop. %59% so far have been sliders in tonight's game for Tyson Ross. About to throw his 25th pitch of his outing.
We've got a couple of good shortstops featured in this series here with the Diamondbacks and Padres. Ahmed, Galvis.
Got to be impressed with the overall defense for Arizona as a team to start this year.
Only 4 miscues. And Torey Lovullo said before the game, one of them was a routine ground ball to this kid, Ahmed. It was just one of those where right in front of him, hit him in the glove, came up his arm, couldn't find the handle. Those are going to happen.
4 errors in 18 games played. In the same time span, Milwaukee Brewers have committed 21 errors.
Yeah, that's putting it in perspective, huh?
Full count here to Ahmed. And I think he went. Yes, he did for strike 3, 3rd K for Tyson Ross. 2 down here in the 2nd.
Oh, he's got the feel. Get up on top, spin it, and let the ball do the work.
2 down here in the 2nd inning, and it brings up Alex Avila. We're going to shift on Avila here on the right side of the infield.
Kind of struggling at the plate, Avila. Doing everything behind the plate. Calls a good game, good receiver, blocks balls well.
Yeah, the defense has been very good. The offense has kind of struggled in that category. Of course, last year Chris Iannetta was here sharing some time. Trying to come in. And it's fouled back to the screen. 92.
Yeah, I look at the guys that average. Avila at 125. And to me, he's going to have difficulty catching up to that fastball in. Tyson Ross, I've been watching the velocity, 91, 92. So that's why Austin Hedges, try to tie him up. It's going to be difficult the way he's been swinging the bat, I think, to get to that pitch. So now he goes something backdoor maybe here. Oh, no, it looks like a high fastball.
2 down here in the 2nd, 4 in a row retired by Ross. 3 of the 4 by way of the K. Swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 4 for Tyson Ross. Getting some good defense behind him. Jose Perella laying it out in left field. Took a base hit away from Ketel Marte. Scoreless through 2 from Arizona.
of the third, and a very special moment here at Chase Field as the Diamondbacks honored Kevin Towers, who passed away from cancer, of course. Kevin, general manager of the Padres for 14 years. He was the GM here in Arizona from 2010 through 2014. There's his wife, Kelly, unraveling the plaque that commemorates Kevin's Tower, the suite that Kevin spent most of his time up here at Chase Field while watching the Diamondbacks. And guys, of course, he's most remembered here in Arizona for transforming this organization. When he took over, they had come in last place. And in 1 year, in 2011, he got them to the playoffs. It was a 29-game turnaround. So Kevin Towers not only remembered in San Diego finally, but certainly here in Arizona, all throughout the baseball world. And they will also honor him on August 2nd when the Padres come back out. Everyone will have a KT patch on their uniform.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Certainly very impactful to two different organizations.
The ripple effect that Kevin Towers created, not only with San Diego Padres, the Diamondbacks, but throughout all of baseball. And at his memorial, that was evident. Scouts, other GMs, fans, media. KT was great with everybody. It didn't matter what your vocation was, what you did in life. If you were a baseball fan and you wanted to talk, he was willing to talk. Going to miss his sense of humor, going to miss his presence. He's one of the best ever.
Tough offseason for the Padres family.
Professor, we miss him each and every day. Rob Picholo, part of the Padre family for all those years. And then, of course, KT.
Tyson Ross grounded out to short, and Jose Perella batting for the second time through now. And he'll crank it foul off to the right out of play. Down 0-2, grounded out to second base in the first inning. 5 ground ball out so far for Matt Cook. Likes to keep the ball down.
Strike thrower pounding it down in the zone. That's the report we got from Bob Brenly. He's not going to light up radar guns.
Good control.
Very good control. It's worth mentioning again. We mentioned it earlier, but last year he was voted best control of all pitchers in the Diamondbacks system by Baseball America.
In the dirt, and it's 2-2. Perella has also made his presence felt with a great defensive play in left field to begin the bottom of the second inning on a line drive that was sinking. Time called here very late.
I'll be honest with you. And this is not a knock because the guy's busting his tail out there to try to get better. I kind of hold my breath every time there's a ball hit towards Jose Perella. And I say that with all honesty. But the flip side is the hard work, going out there, taking fungos, covering the ground.
I feel like he's getting better.
Technique, he is. I think it's going up a little bit.
From where he started, though, last year in spring training.
There is progress.
Wow. I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen, to be honest with you, in spring training. But he has really worked very hard at it. And, part of it is that he can play in the infield as well. Andy Green said today, before the game, that we may see him play some second base coming up here, too, because you're about to get a lot more crowded in the outfield. You got Myers back tonight. Manuel Margot's on his way back. What does that mean for Perella? And it may mean you got to keep him in the lineup, so maybe second base more for Perella. So he may be coming to the infield a little more regularly. And there's ball 4. Down to first he goes with 1 down here in the third inning. Second walk allowed by Cook in his outing.
Right fielder Will Myers.
Here is Will Myers in his return. His first at bat, single to center field in the first inning. He's left at third base. As Villanueva struck out to conclude the first inning. Outfield straight away here on Myers. Not quite a shift in the infield, but they play for him to pull, and there's strike 1. There's a .330 hitter here at Chase Field. It's jammed and pops it up foul, backing out of play. Loves hitting here. 9 doubles, triple, 5 homers. He's now hit safely in 5 straight games here at Chase Field. There's a look at the defensive alignment.
Donnie, we got a telestrator.
How about that? You can
look at
start
that. 3 over
things.
there. Yeah.
You can circle stuff.
We got arrows and white lines and numbers.
How about the pitcher's path to the plate?
You know what? Because it's so uncommon, Detroit has one too, correct?
Had. I don't think they have it.
I like how emphatic you were saying that.
I don't like it.
You know what? I can see where I don't like it, but then again, as a pitcher, it might act as a guide towards you stay towards online home plate.
Like bumpers when you're bowling?
Exactly. Stay in your lane, right? No gutter balls. You can see where that could happen, right?
I guess. I've never pitched in a major league game. I feel like I could. Pitch is low.
But I see where pitchers can use that as a directional instrument to stay on path towards home plate. Maybe some.
I don't know, because he's kind of off center because he's on the first base side of the rubber.
He is.
So now it's like his pitching path is different than what's in front of him.
That's a good point.
On the ground to third. To Chopper Marrero to second for 1. On to first for 2. Will Myers grounds into the around the horn double play. And that'll wrap up the top of the 3rd inning. 5-4 to 3. Scoreless through 2.5. Member of the Diamondbacks Tucson franchise. And the last Padre player to be named the PCL MVP. Tweet us your answer by the end of the inning using hashtag ValleyViewTrivia. And of course, Andy Green coaching in the Diamondbacks organization and third base coach here for taking the Padres managerial position. Still has a lot of friends here in the organization. Every time he comes back here to Arizona, renews acquaintances. A lot of the guys still around here.
I remember that year before being manager, there was some turnaround in the coaches, right? Andy Green was coaching third base for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Like you said. And
swing and a miss.
I just wanted to reiterate, somebody might have gone to the refrigerator, gotten a drink, and come back.
So good.
But I remember Andy talking about how he would talk to like the third baseman and put players out there and get like, hey, what's this guy like? Hey, what's that guy like? Did you see that too?
No, I didn't cover that. No, I just said how he was here and he was a third base coach. And before he took the Padres managerial position.
Okay.
And then you came back and said exactly the same thing without missing a beat.
I apologize.
Popped up. I realize a lot of what I have to say is not interesting, so I get that you don't always listen to me. It's okay.
You've even said to me, you've said that you don't listen to what I say.
Never. I try not to.
What do you think of the shot?
I don't like it. It's in my jowls for the most part.
Yeah,
Very low.
It's kind of.
This is a swing and a miss. Devin Marrero will be thrown out at first base. That's 5 strikeouts for Tyson Ross. Good news from Padres on deck. Josh Naylor, the Texas League Player of the Week in 10 games, 17 hits. Wow. 472 average. Yes, 1.545 and 6 home runs. That's pretty good.
That's a great week in the Texas League.
So that's Josh Naylor in the Futures game. A couple different years in a row, and he was here in the Arizona Fall League and had a very good Arizona Fall League this last offseason. Saw a few of those games. We saw him in spring training. 5 strikeouts for Tyson Ross, and all the Ks have been on sliders. Matt Koch 0 for 3 and batting for the first time tonight out of the 9 spot in the order. Cook with a swing and a miss, strikes out. That's 4 straight strikeouts for Tyson Ross. 2 down here in the 3rd inning.
Guess what he struck him out on?
Slider.
Believe it.
Right fielder, David Peralta.
2 down in the 3rd. 7 in a row retired by Ross. Back up top now for David Peralta. Second time through for Tyson. This is really the Tyson Ross of old we're seeing here and seen over the last few starts for him.
He is free and easy, and you know what, his body language says a lot as well. I always look at body language. When a pitcher is hurting, it's kind of like you throw a pitch and you walk around the mound until that pain kind of subsides a little bit, and then you crawl back up on there and you're hoping and praying that if they do hit the ball, please be at somebody.
Buying some time just to feel better.
Yes, and Tyson is like getting that rock and getting up, shoot, rock, fire. Where'd that miss?
Dealing with a good Arizona Diamondbacks lineup too. And second time through, Peralta grounded out to second base in the 1st inning. Center fielder Franchi Cordero over towards left center, and Peralta didn't really care for that call very much. Said something to home plate umpire Jim Reynolds. Ooh. Tyson Ross thought he had strike 3, was headed towards the dugout.
Yeah. He's got squeezed 2 pitches this at bat. I'll bet you a donut tomorrow morning that he throws a slider right here.
It looks like I'm getting myself a donut.
You certainly are.
I like chocolate frosted for the record.
You want to go double or nothing?
No, I'll just take my donut and run.
Right.
Thank you. See you tomorrow morning. Payoff pitch. On the ground, right at Aswahe at second base. And that is that in the 3rd inning. Nice job by Ross. Retired 8 in a row. We're scoreless. Hosmer coming up. MLB leaders batting average against right-handed pitching, and Hosmer top of that list at 351. Some very good hitters on that list. That's since the 2017 All-Star break. 351 as he checks in against his right-hander. Getting his second look at him. Hosmer grounded out to first base in the first inning. 0 for 1. First game of 3 between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. First trip here into Arizona of 3. Amazingly, we go back to Denver after this series for the second time in like a week.
Won't be back till August.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the way the scheduling is.
Did you check out of your room or just checked in?
Yeah.
Down and in, 2-1.
All I know is that room in Colorado, I wore out that espresso machine.
This espresso thing is a new thing for you, isn't it?
Love it.
Hosmer fouls it back. 2-2.
You know, that ball looked like it had a little cut to it into the swing path of Hosmer, but just couldn't get out there in time and kind of down by the barrel. And that's what Cook is trying to do, avoid the barrel. Off the end of the bat, down by the label. And that's what that cut fastball will do. Looks like a backdoor breaking ball here. I've seen 94 and 90. Sometimes when you throw a cutter away, it kind of flattens out a little bit. That would look pretty straight at 90.
Jolts it foul off to the left out of play, and that'll get up into the upper deck to our left. Fans settling in here, kind of a late arriving crowd, but turning into a very good crowd here tonight. A lot of fans in the upper deck. Padres and Diamondbacks. On the ground. That one kind of jammed him, got right in the kitchen. Marte throws him out at first base. Hosmer's gone. One down here in the 4th inning. Time now for our Coors Light refreshing finish. First big league home run for Christian Villanueva last year off J.J. Hoover. He's got 6 this year, but last year coming up in September, finishing the year with the Padres, and off to a very good start this year.
And you know what? That was a breaking ball that he hit out for the home run, but it doesn't mean you can't throw him a breaking ball. He just threw him a breaking ball there to start him off. It's got to be in the good location.
Comes in riding a 6-game hitting streak, 588 during the streak, and a strikeout victim in the first, one of 2 strikeouts for Matt Cook.
Well, the last pitch of the strikeout was a breaking ball, and the first 2 pitches here have been breaking balls from Cook.
There's a pop-up that has Avila coming back, but he won't have a play. 4 rows back and well out of his reach. Up over the screen behind the plate. One hit so far for the Padres tonight. Will Myers has got it. As they bat here in the top of the 4th inning, scoreless game from Chase Field. Just off the outside edge. Framed there by Avila as Cook wanted it. His next pitch will be the 55th of his outing. Fly ball headed out towards right center field. Peralta over and under. For out number 2 of the 4th inning. You know, it's funny with this roof open, and you're talking about the humidor before. It looked like the ball's carrying quite as well so far.
I think it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And when you have Diamondback people who see games here day in and day out, they believe it. It's working. Yeah, but you make a good point, Don. If it would help our offense,
I don't get
you
why
want
they would
you
do
want
it.
Goldschmidt going opposite field with regularity.
I'm confused by it because of all the success that they had here last year at home. It was off the charts, their offensive number.
It's almost as if, okay, we'll let you guys score 5, but we've got the belief that we're going to score 6, right?
Confidence. They've got it, that's for sure. Here's a fly ball out towards deep right center field off the bat of Cordero. That ball is back, and it is gone. A home run.
I got your humidor.
Franchi Cordero, his 3rd home run of the year. He'll touch them all. The Padres take a 1-0 lead. That was a blast to the right of the scoreboard.
Cuidado, Pisa Mojado. Talk about launch angle. Watch the trajectory of the ball off this bat of Franchi Cordero. Tries to go in on him. Wow. And Cook knew it, and look where this ball hits. Oh my goodness, it's up by the totals. Did you see that?
About halfway up the scoreboard.
Oh my gosh.
I'd love to know the tail of the tape of that one.
I didn't realize it hit where it hit. I thought it was down below above the yellow line where those seats are.
Nope. Way up on the scoreboard. Did he go? No. We'll check the third base umpire.
Here's where the ball hit. Right about here. I thought it hit down here. Wow.
Freddie Galvis, a strikeout victim in the second, 0 for 1. Well, that home run, just the 2nd hit of the night for the Padres.
Now, if there's no humidor, is that ball landing in Flagstaff?
Peoria.
That kid is some kind of strong, isn't he?
Unbelievable. There's ball 4. No. Wow. Freddie was headed to first base, and he gets the bad news from Jim Reynolds, home plate umpire. Freddie didn't say anything, just got back in the box again. Now sends one out to center field. On the run is Dyson, and he will get there, running onto the track to make the catch. We just witnessed a tape measure shot to center field. The longest home runs of the year. This one driven up onto the scoreboard. 1-0 San Diego. With a blast to center field off the scoreboard. Padres enjoy a 1-0 advantage. Bottom of the fourth inning we go, and Gerard Dyson leading it off and fouling it off to the left out of play.
Don, I think that's a home run we're going to be talking about for a long, long time off the bat of Franchi Cordero. Halfway up the scoreboard. And that's more towards center field than right center field. I mean,
that is 413 out there at the wall. And I don't know, 100 feet from there up from where it hit.
Yeah.
Wow. Grounded back to the mound. Nice play by Ross. Quickly off the mound to retrieve that. Retires Dyson. One down here in the fourth inning. Nice athletic play by Tyson Ross. One down. It'll bring up Paul Goldschmidt. Struck out swinging in the first inning. One of 6 Ks already for Tyson Ross, who has retired 9 Diamondbacks in a row. Over 50 pitches now for Tyson Ross. That's 52. Goldschmidt now, Descalso next.
Before this inning, of the 48 pitches, Tyson Ross threw 26 of them were sliders. Seven swings and misses on that pitch.
You know, you think about his problems last year with Texas, you got to wonder about him and how good he felt from a health perspective. I mean, if you're not feeling good, I can't imagine a slider is an easy pitch to be able to throw if that's your best pitch.
He told me in Colorado that this offseason was a big, big advantage for him because it was that, okay, surgery, pitch. It kind of gave him the full offseason time to recoup, rehab, and then go back into spring training. But you're right. If you're hurting, that your number one go-to pitch, you're going to be kind of reluctant to throw it because it's going to hurt. It's not going to have the same effect. So then you start nibbling. You fall behind 2-0. Next thing you know, you're backing up third. Maybe a walk. Maybe a home run.
Payoff pitch. Goldschmidt fouls it back to the screen.
Look at that's 3-2. That's Paul Goldschmidt, and he threw a fastball to challenge him. Then he fouled it back. That's confidence in the heater.
Guy's got 4 home runs already on the year. Look at his numbers. Struggled the first 10 games. Last 8 though has been on fire, hitting .414. And he strikes out for the second time tonight against Tyson Ross. Strikeout number 7 for Ross. 2 down here in the fourth inning.
Well, I hate to sound like a broken record, folks, but this is music to my ears. I will listen to this needle skip and repeat the same thing every time. Another slider out of the hand, 3-2 to Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie goes down swinging.
He's retired 10 in a row and deals with Daniel Descalso for the second time in tonight's game. He's able to strike him out swinging in the first inning. So 7 strikeouts in the ballgame already tonight for Tyson Ross. That ties a season high. Struck out 7 Astros in 6 innings at Minute Maid Park on the last road trip. Strike on the outside corner has Descalso shaking his head and says something to Jim Rose.
That fastball up in the zone. What's coming next, Donnie?
I'm thinking slider.
What gives you that idea? Let's see what Austin puts down here.
Ooh,
oh, another
back
fastball. Yeah. That was a cutter, it looked like.
Wow. Strike 3. Descalso doesn't like it. Didn't like strike 2. Like strike 3 even less. Back-to-back Ks for Tyson Ross. He's got 11. He's got a total of 8 tonight. He's retired 11 batters in a row. Padres have a 1-0 lead. All right, thanks very much, Mike and Mark, as Swahe trying to bunt his way on. Punches at it for strike one. It's a 1-0 Padres lead here into the 5th inning. Well, that home run, 489 feet off the bat of Frenchie Cordero, the difference in the game. It's the farthest ball hit by a visitor in the history of Chase Field. This one foul to the screen. Cameron Maben had the former visiting record at 485 feet back on July 2nd of 2012. It's the 3rd longest overall home run here at Chase Field. The other 2 guys were Diamondbacks, Richie Sexson and Adam Dunn. There's a ground ball right side, and Tel Marte will throw out a Swahe. 1 down here in the 5th. Sexton's home run, 503. Wow. And Adam Dunn at 504. The 2 longer than Frenchie Cordero. So how about that?
That's a bolt.
Hit it with 2 down, bases empty in the 4th inning. It's 1-0 Padres. And Austin Hedges coming up here now for San Diego with 1 down here in the 5th.
No, I'm still wondering. Did that ball hit the frame of the scoreboard, or did it hit the speaker to the right of it?
No, I think the frame.
The frame. Okay, because there's a speaker out there which kind of comes out a little bit.
Yep.
And then the frame of the scoreboard is where it hit, I guess, huh?
I think just to the right of where the balls and strikes are.
Yeah, where it says.
There's some dents up there. Don't know if that's the actual one, but that's where I think it hit.
I think you're right, Don, because I remember it saying that it was like equal to where the line the totals were.
Outside for ball 2. Hedges grounded into a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1. '70th pitch is laced foul into the seats down the left field line. Hedges out ahead of that. It's a full count. Tyson Ross waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, and Hedges strikes out. That's a 3rd K of the night for Matt Cook. Well, let's get another look at the home run from French Cordero, and exit velocity 116.3 miles per hour. 489 feet. How about your launch angle there, Mud?
Yeah, 29 degrees, and here it is right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, up by the left on base of the Padres totals. That was a great view of it right there. Wow.
The difference in the game. You should get more points for that.
The farther you hit it?
Yes. Should be worth more than just 1 run. Think about that.
So like have lines out there. And
yes.
It's like skee ball.
2-run home run.
Right?
Yes. Like you're in the backyard. This one fouled off down the right field line, out of play.
What I like about that whole situation is the home run, obviously, but then Tyson Ross going out in the bottom of the 4th and then shutting down the Diamondbacks. The old shutdown inning after the big fly.
Very much so. Ground out 2 strikeouts. Ross has retired 11 batters in a row. Season high 8 strikeouts. Ross strikes out himself here. 4 Ks for Cook. Halfway through, 1-0 San Diego.
Absolutely devastating. Strikeout, strikeout. 8 strikeouts so far on the game. He has retired 11 in a row. He has struck out 2 batters in every single inning, guys, of the 62 pitches that he's thrown so far tonight. 31 have been for sliders. 21 of those have been for strikes. The slider has been absolutely devastating weapon for Tyson Ross so far tonight.
Now, Scan, he looks better every time out. And we look at the number of sliders, 31 so far, 21 fastballs. Sinkers and cutters mixed in, and deals with Ketel Marte to begin things here in the bottom of the 5th. Marte lined out to left, and that was the play that Perella made, diving. It's a check swing foul. Has him down 0-2.
You know, when a pitcher's going through something like this, the thinking is just out the window. And I'm sure Bob Scanlon could comment on this, but when you are feeling good physically, mentally between the ears, when you've got that release point down, it's like effortless. The ball is coming out of your hand. It's got the great rotation. You're hitting your spots, and that's when it's fun.
But not only is it fun, but you just have this sense that no matter what happens, you can pitch over it.
Yep.
You know, if some guy gets a bloop single, no problem. The umpire squeezes you, I'm not worried about it. Error behind me, don't worry, guys. I'm going to pick you up.
A liner caught it short by Galvis for the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning.
Hey, Mark, let's not forget also, we've talked about the slider, and rightfully so, but I think he's done a really nice job tonight also of commanding that fastball. Now, he normally doesn't have his best sinker here in Arizona, but he's used the four-seamer very effectively, and we've seen some of these Diamondback batters, it looks like, trying to wait for that slider now, and he's been able to get the fastball by him.
Yeah, Scan, I've seen a little bit of cut fastball, too, action out of the hand of Tyson Ross, and maybe, you know, if the two-seamer, like you make a good point, sometimes the sinker doesn't sink as well in the desert, or you don't have that feel, so why not try to go to the cutter as well?
Good point, Mud.
Nick Ahmed struck out swinging here in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. 12 in a row retired by Ross, and I think he went around. He did. Six innings last time out. That was against the Giants, part of a 5-1 victory. And the thing about the last 2 outings, 100 or more pitches in each of the last 2. 107 Houston in 6 innings, 100 last time out in 6 innings. Pitched 70 of his outing with 1 down in the 5th. And a swing and a miss. Up over the top of that was Nick Ahmed.
Let's check out the swing. I mean, we know that the pitch, that slider, but out in front, one-handed, trying to stay back, but you can't because you've committed.
Full count now. Payoff pitch. Ahmed fouls it off down the right field line, out of play. Fourth start of the year for Tyson Ross, and he comes in with a 3.50 earned run average. Outfield straight away on Ahmed. Popped up left side. This will send Galvis a few strides on the outfield grass for out number 2 of the 5th inning.
Tomorrow on FS1, catch some amazing baseball as Francisco Lindor and the Indians face off with Adam Jones and the Orioles. It's tomorrow at 1 on FS1 or stream it live on Fox Sports Go.
2 down in the 5th for Alex Avila, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. We got 8 strikeouts for Ross, and all of them swinging by my count. Avila went swinging in the 2nd inning. A shift on him here in the Padres infield right side. And a strike over the outside corner has him down 0-2.
And Alex is like, okay, what do I do here?
Tad high, and it's 1-2. 13 in a row retired by Tyson Ross. Elevated again, and not chasing was Avila. Outfield plays for Avila to go the other way while that shift is employed on the right side of the infield. And a fly ball down the left field line. Perella headed over towards the line. He will get there to make the catch. Tyson Ross has retired 14 in a row. It's 1-0 Padres. By Petco, the pet company, and by Hyundai. Get a great deal, more than a great deal, on all new Hyundai vehicles. See your Hyundai dealer today. 6th inning back at Chase Field in Arizona. Padres holding on to a 1-0 advantage as they come to bat. The top of the Padres order coming up: Perella, Myers, and Hosmer. Matt Cook, who's done a very nice job here tonight so far for the Diamondbacks. The one blemish, the Franchi Cordero home run, 489 feet worth of home run. Perella has grounded out to second and walked 2 plate appearances on the night. By the way, more numbers pouring in on that home run from Cordero. Home run, the farthest hit ball by anyone so far this season in Major League Baseball. So not only the 3rd longest home run here in the history of Chase Field, longest by a visiting player, but hit the furthest of anybody in Major League Baseball in 2018.
How about the launch angle? 29 degrees?
Yes. I heard you yell launch angle when it happened.
Well, it's important.
On the ground and off the glove. Ahmed ends up in behind him, and Perella's aboard. See how they rule this.
You know, that ball's hit pretty darn hard, but you know what? That's a really, really good shortstop for the Diamondbacks. I think that's a very makeable play for Nick.
He's 6. Charged with his 2nd error. Only the 5th this year by the Diamondbacks as a team.
Yeah, that's an error. Nick Ahmed would probably say, you know what? I got to make that play. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 hopper. Yes.
So lead runner on here for the Padres in the 6th inning, and it brings up Will Myers. Lifts a fly ball to right center. Gerard Dyson wandering back. Makes the catch for out number 1. And Perella back to the bag at first.
Had him on his front foot. Nice little breaking ball flipped up there by Cook.
First baseman Eric Hosmer.
Will swinging early in the count tonight.
1 down, 1 on, and it brings up Eric Hosmer. 0 for 2. He is grounded out to first, grounded out to second. And here comes Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, trotting out there. An official visit to the mound. There is action for the Diamondbacks in their pen for the first time in this game. Chafin warming in the pen. Coming up in the 7th inning, you want to make sure and stay tuned for the Arco game break. Mike Pomeranz and Mark Sweeney. That's coming up. So is the 80th pitch of the night for Matt Cook. With 1 on, 1 out, and Eric Hosmer about to step in. After a visit from his pitching coach, Mike Butcher. Cook ready to work.
First pitch, Cambio.
Goldschmidt holding on Perel at first base with 1 down in the inning. One to Hosmer. Foul back to the screen. 1-2. You know, both Paul Goldschmidt and Eric Hosmer arriving in the big leagues the same season, 2011. You look, compare the numbers between the two, and quite a few are similar. More power from Goldschmidt, 180 home runs with 129. Hosmer better defensively with 4 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, and Goldschmidt is a guy who you can pretty much pencil in with those offensive numbers each and every year. I mean, last year, the last 2 years, believe it or not, 297 average on the head. But he's a career 299 hitter, and he fell from 321 in 2015. But Paul Goldschmidt, you know, he's such a good hitter. He makes adjustments to keep those offensive numbers up there each and every year.
2 of the game's best first basemen.
4-time All-Star for Goldschmidt. 4-time Gold Glover for Eric Hosmer.
Popped up left side, third baseman Devin Marrero in the third base coach's box for out number 2. No advance for Perella, remains at first base with now 2 down, and that'll bring up Christian Villanueva. Struck out swinging in the first inning, flied out to right in the 4th inning. A little bigger lead for Perel at first base. And noticing was Cook. He fires over there to first base. On the ground to short. Ahmed will go to second base, forcing out Perella to end the inning. 5.5 done, 1-0 San Diego. 1-0 Padres on top of the Diamondbacks. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question answer. Andy Green named the 2005 PCL MVP as a member of the Diamondbacks Tucson franchise. And the last Padres player to be named PCL MVP, Hunter Renfroe, 2016, the El Paso Chihuahuas. Evan Marrero leading it off and lining one to left. Pirela is there on the sinking liner to make the catch. Almost lost it in the light bank, but makes the grab out there for the first out of the 6th inning. Pinch hitter coming up here in the pitcher's spot. Chris Owings is actually, no, it's not going to be Chris Owings. It's going to be Murphy coming up. John Ryan Murphy, 5 for 18, 9 games this year. So Matt Cook is done. Pitch in gets his attention. Cook goes the first 6 innings tonight. Wow, just 2 hits.
He threw well.
Very well. 2 hits, the 1 run, the home run by Cordero. He walked 2, struck out 4. Ended up throwing 86 pitches in his outing. Swing and a miss for Murphy, and it is now 1-2. Tyson Ross at 83 pitches. He's retired 15 in a row. Season high 8 strikeouts in this game for Tyson Ross. Breakdown of the pitches by inning. There's 1 out so far here in the 6th inning.
The heaviest workload in the first. You want to be around 15 or fewer.
Strike 3 call. Strikes out the pinch hitter Murphy. 9 strikeouts for Ross. 2 down in the 6th inning.
This one looks like it kind of backs up on him. He wants it kind of like towards the middle of the plate, but a nice frame job. Catches the inside corner. Watch this one back up a little bit. Yeah. Right on the inside corner. Frozen pizza.
8 of 9 strikeouts on the slider for Tyson Ross. He's got 2 down here in the 6th inning. Here's David Peralta. Takes a look at strike 1. He's grounded out twice, both times to the Padres' second baseman. Both times Carlos Asuaje up to the task. Peralta to left. Pirela coming in, and he'll make the catch on the sinking liner. So some good defense turned in tonight behind Tyson Ross. We head to the 7th, 1-0 Padres. He has struck out 9 through the first 6 innings and retired 17 batters in a row. Some great defense behind him. Jose Perella laying it out, and Tyson Ross very appreciative of that. How about a 489-foot home run, being the only run of this game off the bat of Franchy Cordero, as the Padres on top 1-0. The line for Ross through 6, 9 Ks, 1 walk. Matt Cook done after 6, giving up 1 earned run. Franchy Cordero the only run. And it's on to the 7th inning we go, with Andrew Chafin now taking over for Matt Cook. Chafin had been warming in the pen last inning. They hit for the pitcher, and here he is into the game. And here is Franchy Cordero. 489-foot home run, and now he shows bunt.
Well, a good test here for Franchy. Lefty on lefty. Chafin with the 4-seamer, the slider, and the sinker. His 7th game, a very nice ERA under 2, only 4 2/3 innings of work. He's a well-rounded hitter, Don.
He's grabbed the attention of Devin Marrero, who's now in on the grass at third base. He's buying into it.
Well, lefties are only hitting 100, 1 for 10 off of Chafin this year.
Foul to the screen, 2-1. Two and two now. Fouled off down by the shoe tops, back to the backstop. Home run for Cordero in the 4th inning. His 3rd home run of the year. Swing and a miss, and it gets away briefly from Avila, so he's got to throw him out, and he does.
At Kia, get America's best value backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
One down here in the 7th inning. The strikeout of Cordero, and it brings up Freddie Galvis.
You know who I got for Andrew Chafin?
What do you got?
Todd Jones. Remember
Similar?
Jonesy?
Yes, I do.
Obviously, Jonesy was right-handed, but with the Tigers and Astros.
I think it's the mustache.
With the he looks just like Todd Jones.
Freddie Galvis 0 for 2. Very similar. Galvis has struck out, flied out to center. That'll drop in there for strike 2.
Chafin's going to touch about 93 on that fastball. Throws about 50% of the time.
Elevates, and Galvis chases. Couldn't lay off. Six innings tonight from the starter, giving up 1 run, the home run. Now into the pen for Torey Lovullo. Fly ball into center field. Gerard Dyson coming in a few steps. Tires Galvis, 2 down.
Second baseman, Carlos Asuaje.
Padres second baseman Carlos Asuaje coming up. A walk in the 2nd. Grounded out to second base in the 5th. Batting with 2 down, bases empty here in the 7th. Shift on Aswahe on the right side of the infield. Marrero, the third baseman, coming over as part of the shift. Only Nick Ahmed on the left side. And he's pretty tight to the grass on that left side. That's a strike, and it's 1-1 to Aswahe.
Yeah, usually that position in the middle, you'll be like the rover, right? As far as on the right side, second base position. But as you see on the left side, all by himself, cuts down the range for a left-handed hitter. You get something in between that bag, that's a double.
Chafin got Cordero to strike out swinging. Galvis to fly out to center. 2 down in the 7th. And ahead here, 1-2. Tyson Ross alone in his thoughts in the dugout right now. On the ground right side, Marte to his left. That will end the top of the 7th inning. It's 1-0 Padres, and it's time now for the Arco game break with Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney.
And it's time for the 7th inning stretch. So sing along with D-backs organist Bobby Freeman.
This season, get Padres home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Gerard Dyson leading it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Dyson has walked and grounded back to the mound. Only base runner to reach in this game, and it was a walk in the first inning for Dyson. 17 in a row, retired since. That's strike 1. Ross had an even 90 pitches here in the 7th inning. Most pitches he's thrown in any game this year was 107. And that was in the 6th inning effort and loss to the Houston Astros. coming off injury, but dealing with history here tonight.
Yeah, you know, I look at velocity, I look at tilt on the breaking ball, and that was pitch number 92. Seems like he still has good bite, still like the velocity. Location of those pitches as well. He's bounced a couple sliders this inning early on. But is the 2-2 pitch here his go-to slider? Yes, it is.
Dyson lines it down the right field line, foul. Out ahead. Play for Dyson to go the other way. The center fielder Franchi Cordero into left center. Big gap out in right center.
There's that two-seamer trying to bring it back in on the left-hander. Backdoor slider.
Fouled off right at the plate. Hangs here at 3-2.
You know, I don't think there's been that many sliders even fouled off tonight. We
A lot of swings and misses.
Yes.
This is the longest at bat of the game against Tyson Ross. 8th pitch of the at bat coming up. And it's on the ground to first base. Hosmer will take it himself to the bag for out number 1. Looked like some of the bat splintered there, and that grounder to first base, 1 away in the 7th.
He got in his kitchen big time. That's a 3-2 pitch. Wanted inside. Austin Hedges' glove. Look at that right there. It's a cutter. It's a cutter. You can see that ball just cut a little bit. Shattering that shillelagh. Easy play for Hosmer.
One down in the 7th, and Paul Goldschmidt, the batter. He has done the same thing twice in that strikeout in the 1st and in the 4th. And he takes strike 1.
No cutter.
Seems like more of those lately.
Yeah.
Guess you got to mix it up a little bit here, 3rd time through.
Good call. You know, when that slider's in the back of the mind, like early in the game, you might, you know, sneak a piece of cheese up and out of the zone.
He's retired 18 in a row. Season high 9 strikeouts in the game tonight. Working with 1 out here in the last of the 7th. And been working very well all night with Austin Hedges.
Don't be surprised if he throws in another 3-1 slider right here. A good fastball count here. We've been talking about that cutter. That might be the pitch right here. No, he's going back to the slider. Shook it off. Fastball.
That's strike 2, full count. That'll back nicely. Up over 100 pitches now, 101. That is ball 4, and down to first base goes Goldschmidt on the walk. Breaks up a string of 18 in a row retired by Ross. 2nd walk he is allowed in tonight's game.
Left fielder, Descalso.
And that'll bring up Daniel Descalso. Here is our story tonight with 1 out in the 7th inning. Daniel Descalso 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the 1st, looking in the 4th inning. In the air to right field. Myers has got room. Front of the track. He'll make the catch. Staying at first is Goldschmidt, and there are 2 outs in the inning. That ball just died out there in right field, 2 away. so used to seeing the ball just carry here.
Trying to see where this ball has made contact. Maybe Descalso a little bit too quick to it. That was a breaking ball. It was a slider. And I'm right there with you, Don. As soon as that ball was hit, I thought it was going to be a lot deeper than that.
Comes up well shy of the track in right field. It's out number 2.
Hey, another good sign. Did you see that throw from Will Myers in right field?
That
was a one-hop laser to second base with accuracy.
2 down, runner at first. Ketel Marte 0 for 2. Fly ball, center field. Cordero settles underneath, and he will make the catch as Tyson Ross heads to the dugout. 1-0 Padres.
Leading off for San Diego, catcher, Austin Hedges.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Here's a drive to left that has Descalso back shy of the track to make the catch on Austin Hedges, who's out number 1 of the 8th inning. No panic in Descalso out there in left as Hedges got into that. 1 down.
That was another ball off the bat that I thought was going to be hit a lot farther.
Tyson Ross coming up. 0 for 2 at the plate. He is grounded out to short and struck out swinging. There had been action in the Padres pen in between innings. Looked like Craig Stammen was up in the pen. He has since sat down. The Ross is batting for himself.
Well, Don, you mentioned it earlier. You take a look at the pitch count. This being the 4th start for Tyson Ross. First outing this year, 81 pitches. In Houston, 107. Last outing against the Giants, 100.
Coming off an injury, he's got 104 in tonight's game through the first 7. Elevated, and Ross strikes out. 2 down in the 8th inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
So 2 down as Hedges flied out to left. Ross strikes out and brings up Jose Perella, who tonight has grounded out a second, walked, and reached on an error. Padres have only 2 hits. Only 2 hits in this game. And Perella takes ball 1. So you think of stressful innings too. I mean, you look at pitch count, but you look and say, how many stressful innings did he have? Only 12 pitches have been thrown with runners on base by Tyson Ross tonight. So didn't have to work out of any jams, nothing like that.
Right.
So yes, it is 104 pitches through 7, but not the most taxing. He's been free and easy all night. That's a strike, and it's 1-2 now to Perella.
And you look at the averages of pitches he's thrown tonight. We showed you the pitch count, right? 18 in the first. He had a few 15s. So you take that into consideration. And now, what is going to be the blueprint for these Diamondbacks when they go out in the 8th inning? Are they going to take more pitches? What's their thoughts going to be when they face Tyson Ross in the bottom half of the 8th inning?
Fly ball foul off to the right out of play. Fernando Salas has 2 outs here in the 8th inning, taking over for Andrew Chafin, who went an inning with a strikeout.
See the last pitch he fouled off? Now, if I'm a pitcher, I'm reading that. I'm going right back up the ladder. That pitch was up near the SD almost by his helmet.
Chop left side. The shortstop Ahmed. Long throw gets it there in time. A 1-2-3 8th. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Flirting with history in Arizona tonight. It's Tyson Ross. Back in Arizona as Tyson Ross takes the hill. Nick Ahmed leading it off here for the Diamondbacks. And goes around for strike 1. As this 8th inning begins, there is action in the Padres pen. Greg Stammen is warming in the pen as he was an inning ago. The other part of this, Mark Grant, is it's a 1-0 game.
Yep, you're right. You got to figure, as we mentioned earlier as well, this is the 3rd time around, bottom of the order. You might have to preserve that 1-0 lead. You might have to give these Diamondbacks a different look, right? Just a thought. Hey, if he's pinpointing his pitches the way he is that last pitch before the slider we saw, fastball 92 right on the outside corner, it's all good for Tyson Ross up to this point.
Most pitches thrown in any outing with that pitch, it's fouled off to the right out of play.
Look at, there's 93 on the outer half.
And that was pitch number 108.
And you know, in my honest opinion, this kid's a horse. He's strong enough to go 120 pitches, 125.
Ahmed has struck out, popped out against Ross, who in one stretch had retired 18 in a row. Walked Dyson in the first. He walked Goldschmidt in the seventh. Ball three, a full count here.
Okay, now that last slider, is that the adrenaline kind of pumping so much that I'm trying to overthrow it, or is it a case of maybe just the release point is off a little bit, kind of dragging just a tad?
His career high is 120 pitches, and that was in 2014.
Let's see if he makes an adjustment on this slider.
Ahmed chops it to third, but it is a foul ball. Threw it across for good measure, but a foul ball indicated by the third base umpire, Mark Wegner. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up. Nick Ahmed leading it off here in the eighth and making Ross work. That's ball four, and down to first base goes Ahmed. Third walk allowed by Tyson Ross. Alex Avila coming up here, the catcher. He has struck out swinging tonight, flat out to left, 0 for 2. It's most pitches Ross has thrown since 2015. And he misses down and in. He's not having out here in the eighth. Love a ground ball somewhere to produce a couple of outs here very quickly.
Yeah, you got a catcher who doesn't run that well at the plate.
It's a good candidate.
If Tyson Ross can work something down in the zone, get a weak ground ball, and maybe even a hard ground ball.
Throw to first, and glancing off the glove of Hosmer. Thrown in the dirt by Hedges. Not a bad idea, though. That was a pretty big secondary lead for Ahmed.
A good job by Asuaje backing up also. Here it is, Hosmer off the bag, the snap throw.
And Hedges going to make a mound visit here, his first of the night.
There's been two sliders that throw this inning that haven't been the Tyson Ross type side. Remember the one in the dirt down the way, and then that last one that was up and in.
He's falling behind here, 2-0 to Alex Avila. Conference with his catcher is over.
I think if there's a walk here, we might see a different pitcher.
That's a strike. A generous call right there.
Yeah. That could have very easily been a ball. This pitch up and away, righty on lefty, very rarely gets called. That's very generous.
A shift on the right side, but they keep it tight to the infield with the double play possibilities. That's strike two as Tyson Ross battles back. Second most pitches he's thrown in a game in his career now. The next will be the 117th. Nobody out. Last of the 8th. On the ground, foul. We'll do it again, 2-2.
Good slider.
The breakdown for Ross, 117 pitches, 69 of them strikes. On a night when he has struck out 9, a season high, he has walked 3.
Cutter.
Down and in, and a full count now. And Avila moving his feet.
Well, Avila strikes out a lot. If they choose to send the runner here, could be a perfect candidate for a strike him out, throw him out. I doubt he's going to be going though.
In the dirt, did he go around? Yes, he did. Runner goes, and to second base goes Ahmed on a strikeout for Avila. So he went around, tried to check the swing, could not. Rung up by the third base umpire, Mark Wegner. And that's out number 1 of the 8th inning as Ahmed gets into scoring position. Strikeout number 10 for Tyson Ross.
And it was a slider off the heel of the glove.
Here comes Andy Green. The manager is headed out here with 1 out.
Well, he hasn't pointed yet.
So far, just asking him how he is. And he'll keep him in the game. Again, his career high, 120 pitches. That was back in 2014. About to equal that with his next pitch. Ahmed at second base. And Devin Marrero, the batter, 0 for 2. He has struck out swinging and lined out to left field. Bluff off the backside. He spiraled, but no throw. As Ahmed going back to the bag. Both Stammen and now Hand warming in the pen for San Diego. That's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
I've seen 91 on the fastball this inning. I've seen 93 on the fastball this inning.
So the velocity is there.
It's there. Can he locate it? Keep it on the corners? And then wipe him out with that slider. Like he's been doing all night.
Only the second runner to reach second base. Runner goes, and at third now safely is Nick Ahmed on a pitch in the dirt, 90 feet away.
Yeah, that's a straight steal of third right there, and he picked a good one. A breaking ball in the dirt.
So stolen base, infield in all the way around now. So you have history on the line. You got the tying run at third. All the same time. 2-1. And a nice block there by Hedges. Understandably, Tyson Ross taking more time in between pitches than he has at any point tonight. And now off the back of the hill in the midst of a meeting with himself. Back to the top of the hill and back to work with a 3-1 pitch coming to Marrero. On the ground to second base. Suaje is coming home. The tag there, and he is out at the plate. The second out comes at the plate. Marrero will reach first on a fielder's choice. 2 down in the 8th inning.
This could not have been written any better. Runner at third. Torey Lovello being aggressive on the base pass with the stolen base from second to third. Infield is in. Ross hits his spot. Suaje is there. Fire a strike. Not a force play, a tag play. Get it down there. Sliding towards foul territory. Gets him on the snake on the sleeve. Erases that base runner. Nicely done, fellas.
2 down. Marrero at first base. Got a pinch hitter coming up in Christian Walker in the pitcher's spot here for the Diamondbacks. Pitch 125 for Tyson Ross. That's ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Outfield straight away, and they are deep here on Christian Walker. Tyson Ross's teammates at the top step of the dugout looking on. Fly ball center field. Cordero started in, now he goes back. And he cannot make the catch. Misplayed it. Coming around from first base is Marrero, and this game is tied. Cordero started in. He goes back. It's over his head. And the no-hitter goes by the boards tonight in Arizona for Tyson Ross. And this game is tied. A cruel ending to what could have been tonight in Arizona. Andy Green to pull his right-hander. It's a 1-1 game now from the desert. ball to center field, misplays this and plays it into a double out there in center field. First 2 steps in, then all of a sudden realizes he's in trouble, goes back, ends up over his head.
Nobody feels worse than Franchy Cordero. That ball actually hit before the track, so it just goes to show you 1 or 2 steps just off with the timing is the difference in this one, and tied at 1.
Thought for sure that was out number 3.
Yep.
On a fly ball to center field, but looked up to see Cordero coming in. So a 1-1 ball game. Brad Hand now into the game. Go ahead run for the Diamondbacks at second base. Christian Walker gets credit for a double.
You know what I find odd about that hit is that Walker, his swing, it was a breaking ball, and it wasn't like he was right on it. He kind of had to go out and get a little bit out front, and I think maybe Franchy saw that being in center field from his vantage point and kind of reacted that way because of the swing. Okay, I'm going to have to go in, but he got barrel on it. He got good barrel on it, and by that time he couldn't catch up.
Scoring all the way from first base, Devin Marrero. Ross responsible for the runner at second. And falling behind here, 3-0. David Peralta was 0 for 3. 6 out of 7 in save opportunities. Comes in here in a tie game on the road. What could have been for Tyson Ross tonight in Arizona. That's a strike, and it's 3-1. Fastball at 94. Walking leadoff second for Walker with 2 down. He'll head on back. His hand steps off. And that runner at second, the responsibility of Tyson Ross. Inherited here by Brad Hand.
Pitched his heart out tonight, didn't he?
Sure did. Threw 127 pitches in 7 2/3. Ball 4 and he loses him. Peralta down to first base.
Center fielder, Gerard Dyson.
2 on, 2 down. Gerard Dyson coming up. Walked in the first inning, grounded out in the 4th, grounded out in the 7th. One for 5 so far in the spot on the year. His new team, the Arizona Diamondbacks. There is strike 1.
You know, it's kind of a shame that kind of the lack of offense tonight for Tyson Ross to give him some breathing room to where he would still be the pitcher of record, right?
It was the narrowest of margins there. You really had little room for error. And the reason that Stammen was up to begin the inning.
Yeah, you know, and theoretically, he could still get the loss. That's his run out there at second base. Got to shut him down here.
That's on the corner, and Hand jumps ahead 0-2.
Hey, you know what, folks? This game of baseball sometimes is not fair. As much as you love it, you hate it. Right, Donnie?
Frustrating.
Oh. You'll be jumping for joy the next minute. You're on your knees just crying.
Swing and a miss, and Dyson strikes out. The no-hitter is gone tonight for Tyson Ross. So's the lead. It's tied 1-1. San Diego's choice for heating, cooling, and solar. By Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. And by Jerome Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. 1-1 the score to the 9th inning we go. And as Franchi Cordero had a miscue out there in center field, Tyson Ross went over to him, and a nice moment there as everybody congratulating Ross on an incredible outing tonight. Flirted with a no-hitter through 7 2/3.
Just goes to show you how tough it really is to twirl one, right?
A lot of things have to go right. Has to line up perfectly. And he threw 127 pitches. Now the game tied 1-1. Will Myers faces Brad Boxberger, the new pitcher.
Well, for Boxberger, 6 for 6 in save opportunities. It is a tie game here as we go to the top of the 9th. Where the strikeouts look good. The walks, very few, only 4. The former Padre has really found his niche.
At 127 pitches thrown tonight by Tyson Ross. Ties Clayton Richard, who threw 127 pitches last year. Last time starter had thrown that many for the Padres, June the 13th of last year. That's a strike, and it's 1-2 here to Myers. Has 1 of 2 Padres hits, and this is into center. Make it 3 Padres hits and 2 for Will Myers. On to begin things here in the 9th inning.
Will's looking good. His pitch is up. Boy, you talk about serious top hand, taking it right up the center of the diamond. Elbow's feeling pretty good. Made a good throw tonight from the outfield as well.
So lead runner on here in the 9th, and it brings up Eric Hosmer. 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice, and last time up fouled out to the third baseman Devin Marrero. This will get away, and Myers heads to second base. Avila, who's been so good defensively, as this one squirted through the wickets and back to the backstop, and the go-ahead run's in scoring position now.
Change up. Oh, that's a very catchable ball. That's a pass ball. Wow.
All we've heard from the Diamondbacks people is how short-handed he's been this year defensively.
And you know what? That didn't look like a cross-up.
Mound visit as out went Avila to talk to Boxberger. Maybe it was because he went out there.
Yeah, but the way he tried to grasp that one, it didn't look like.
Hosmer trying to drive in the go-ahead run. And a little roller down the first baseline that is going to go foul. Hug the line about halfway down and trickles foul.
Another changeup. And the rule is, as a fielder, as that thing goes foul, touch it. Let it go. Get it, touch it.
Go-ahead run and scoring position here in the top of the 9th inning, and Will Myers. On the ground left side, Ahmed will round behind it. His throw will be late. Hosmer reaches as Myers takes third base. Infield hit for Eric Hosmer. Ahmed trying to round in behind it, come up throwing, but had no chance to get Hosmer, who dove for the bag head first.
This was a cutter in. Ahmed rounds, and I always cringe. Head first slide.
This almost got Myers.
That went between his legs.
Right through the legs. Infield in. And on the left side, they shift on Villanueva. They're trying to figure out where to play is Marte. Now they're going to send him over to the other side. He came over to shift, threw his arms in the air as if to say, where do you want me? And now they put him back on the right side. 462 with runners in scoring position. And that kind of clanks off the glove of Avila.
Wow.
Myers at third, Hosmer at first. Nobody out in the ninth. Inside outswing, and it's carved foul off to the right, 0-2.
Watch the backswing of being.
Oh, wow.
Right on top of the head.
Alex Avila, who's had a series of concussions in his career, while a member of the Detroit Tigers, has battled them over the years. It's clanked on the head pretty big time. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Infield in all the way around here with Myers at third, Hosmer at first. Single to center, infield hit to short. Go ahead run 90 feet away for San Diego. In the dirt, 1-2. Outfield pretty shallow here on Villanueva, especially the center fielder Dyson. And a foul back to our right. Padres trying to take the lead here in the ninth inning. Boxberger, the closer, in here in a tie game at home in the ninth inning. Villanueva hanging tough here, fouling off another.
Hanging tough on that changeup at 80. The fastball at 91, the changeup at 80. 11-mile-an-hour difference.
Myers, a go-ahead run at third base. Hosmer at first, nobody out. This battle will continue. Villanueva on the ground and through into left field, a base hit. Myers from third puts the Padres on top 2-1. Great at bat by Christian Villanueva to put the Padres on top in the ninth inning. He fouled some off, took some, and grounds one through the Broughton infield on the left side.
What a battle that was. High cut fastball, it looked like, out of the reach of Marrero past Ahmed. And there's a 2 up there in the R column for San Diego.
Here comes Torey Lovello headed out there. Jorge De La Rosa has been up in the pen. And he will make the change. Padres have pulled ahead 2-1 in the ninth from the desert. Diego Honda dealers.
Keys to the game. Short order Cook. Lasted 6 innings, 2 hits, struck out 4, and Ross rattles the Snakes. Well, I tell you what, he did more than that. 7 2/3, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks. He struck out 10. His slider was on tonight.
Well, Brad Boxberger gives up 3 hits and the go-ahead run in the 9th inning. And now Jorge De La Rosa into the game here to face Cordero, who is bunting. He drops a good one down the third baseline. Throw to first, and it will be just in time. Sacrifice complete. 1-3 on the sacrifice as Hosmer to third, Villanueva to second. Nice bunt there by Franchi Cordero.
Got it done quickly. Perfect technique. High fives all the way around. And as you mentioned earlier, Don, you hit one, what, 400 and how many was it?
89.
489 feet, and then you place one down the third base line, moving people up. There's 2 big runs out there with fewer than 2 outs now.
I thought he was going to beat it out. He got down the line very well.
It was close.
Great throw, though, by De La Rosa to get it there in time. Infield in as Freddie Galvis comes up here. Wild swing and a miss for strike 1. Padres would love to obtain some insurance here on top by a run. Galvis sold for 3 tonight. He has struck out, flied out twice. Chop to short. Ahmed boots it. Scoring is 1 run as Hosmer comes in, and the Padres have a 3-1 lead. This ball on the ground to Ahmed, and I'm not sure what happened to him. It gobbled him up, it looked like, at shortstop. His second error of the game.
Wow, that's very uncharacteristic. Let's check it out. Did that ball hit the lip of the grass and kind of come up on him a little bit? Any way you look at it, nope, that was clearly on the dirt. I think he just rushed it. Played it off to the side a little bit. Very uncharacteristic of Ahmed at shortstop tonight. 2 errors.
Villanueva takes third, Galvis at first. Suaje 0 for 2 and a throw to first. Back to the bag is Galvis. That run is also charged to Brad Boxberger, who is responsible for Villanueva at third base. Third career multi-error game for Ahmed at shortstop. Bunt, little safety squeeze, and they're coming home. No! Ball dropped by De La Rosa, and in is Villanueva. He was right there to flip it underhanded on the safety squeeze, and coming in from third was Villanueva, and he scores. Padres take a 4-1 lead.
Some great execution in this 9th inning for San Diego. As soon as that ball was down on the ground, Villanueva scores, bobbled. Padres adding on.
Error charged to the pitcher. Second error of the inning. First and second now, and that one thrown in the dirt. Nice block by Avila.
You know, the perfect timing for that. It's bottom of the order, right? Fewer than 2 outs. You got a guy who can control the bat a little bit, and the Suaje can bunt. It's the perfect recipe in that situation.
How about this? The Diamondbacks in their first 18 games made 4 errors. They've made 3 tonight and 2 in this inning. We're talking about how great they've been defensively this year. Not tonight. to center field. Dyson is there, and he will make the catch out there for the second out. And back are the runners to first and second, 2 down. So Hedges retired, and that'll bring up the pitcher's spot. And it looks like Brad Hand is coming out here. He was not in the on deck circle, but he has made his way out. There is action in the pen. Craig Stammen had been up out there. The Hand's going to hit. And now you got Jordan Lyles joining Craig Stammen. But Hand hitting for himself.
I got to be honest with you. Is there anything more awkward than seeing Brad Hand walk up to the plate right now with a bat and a helmet on? You know, is he going to swing? Will he just take pitches? Who knows? I mean, there's a runner out there at second base trying to drive him in, but I'm anxious to see the hack here.
Ground ball, second base. Marte will go to first, and that will end the inning. A 3-run inning for the Padres in the top of the ninth. Take a 4-1 lead. Villanueva drove in the go-ahead run for the Padres with this base hit through the left side of the infield. Scored Myers, and it's 4-1. San Diego to the bottom of the ninth we go. Tonight, flirted with a no-hitter through 7 2/3 innings, gave up 1 hit, and as it turns out, 1 run. He walked 3 and struck out 10. There was a stretch in which he retired 18 in a row. It was spectacular. 127 pitches thrown in his outing. Some great defense behind him as well. Morello with a great catch to play at the plate, which kept it alive before this to center field. Cordero started in, then couldn't get back. The Diamondbacks tied the score, and that would end the night for Tyson Ross. But a special night tonight. Brad Hand, who hit for himself, stays in the game. When he came in for Tyson Ross, he walked Peralta but struck out Dyson. Sat down, had an at-bat. Now has a 3-run lead. And Paul Goldschmidt to deal with here to open up the bottom of the 9th inning. In there for strike 2. Goldschmidt, like a lot of the Diamondbacks, kept in check tonight by Tyson Ross. Ross had struck him out in the first, in the fourth. Goldschmidt did walk in the seventh, one of three free passes handed out by Tyson Ross. Line down the left field line. That is a foul ball just over the head of Villanueva, and a foul.
I think he fractured his back.
He did indeed. He'll get a new piece of lumber now.
He got in his cocina, in his kitchen, big time.
Fouled off. Climbed the ladder on him there at 95.
Judging by that swing, looks like Goldie was maybe looking for that high heat.
Smothered by Hedges, 1-2. Kind of unusual for Hand to sit down and come back out again.
It's different, yeah.
In a save type situation. It's not a safe situation right now. He's the pitcher of record right now. Chance for a win if he can finish off the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the ninth.
Let's face it, more times than not, they're called in out of the bullpen to get 3 outs, right? It's a different scenario when you get 1 out. It's a high leverage situation.
And he had to hit.
Yes.
2-2 to Goldschmidt, with Descalso and Marte scheduled to follow here in the ninth. Foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. 2-2. Wow, very close, but outside. Full count. Goldschmidt has got a very good view of the strike zone, no doubt. That is strike 3. Got a great view right there of the strike zone, and he walks away with the second strikeout for Brad Hand. 1 down.
And he immediately knew it as well. As soon as that ball was caught, Jim Reynolds rings him up, and he is walking back to the dugout. Got to go.
1 down in the ninth inning for Daniel Descalso. 0 for 3. Struck out in the first, struck out in the fourth, flat out to right in the seventh. Down the left field line and foul. On a lefty-lefty matchup for Brad Hand here. On an average versus left-handers since 2016, it's just 127.
Yeah, our old friend Ryan Buchter on that list.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Donnie, you know what else I look at from tonight's game? And of course, there's 2 more outs to go here. Think about it. The usage of the pen before the off day. Yesterday was an off day. Today, it's Tyson Ross, up to this point, Brad Hand. Starter, 1 reliever. Gives that bullpen possibly another day's full rest, which is huge.
Elevated it to added 95. You take into account standing up 3 times out there, though, in the pen.
That is a consideration. You're absolutely right. They gauge all that. They monitor all that. Doug Bachler is down there. Yes, there is something to be said for that.
He was up in the 7th, up in the 8th, and up in the top of the 9th.
Those are my guys down there.
That is strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Hansen's coming in. 2 down in the 9th inning.
He went with the heat, announcing his presence of authority. And he gets the strikeout.
Two down in the 9th inning. And it brings up Ketel Marte, 0 for 3. And strike 1. Outfield deep end straight away here on Marte. That is 13 strikeouts tonight for Padres pitching. Combined effort, Tyson Ross, Brad Hand. Strike call. Ball and 2 strikes now to Ketel Marte with 2 down in the 9th. Next pitch will be the 25th for Hansen's coming into this game. It's the 5th hitter that he has faced. Walked the first batter, and Peralta struck out Dyson, Goldschmidt, and Descalso. Almost ducked into that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Marte may have hurt himself trying to get out of the way there. He's stretching out his back and asked for time from home plate umpire Jim Reynolds. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the Padres win. Brad Hand ends up striking out 4 when he comes in, strikes out the side in the bottom of the 9th inning, and gets the win tonight. Thought we were going to see history tonight. Pretty close. Tyson Ross with a great outing. Brad Hand finishes it off. Nice ending to game 1 of this 3-game series. Again, our final score: the Padres 4, the Diamondbacks 1. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?
Nice job, boys. Good win. Nice win, boys. Boys. Doors are here.